This print is a reimagined banknote, but it's not real money. It's a symbolic currency created using elements from different cultures, styles, and hidden messages. I used the structure of a US dollar bill, the intertwined heads by M.C. Escher, a traditional Chinese dragon symbolizing power, and a marijuana leaf representing freedom, change, and modern debate. The text copies the legal language of real money, but replaces it with words about justice, love, and values. Instead of "In God we trust," it says "In love we trust." Instead of a treasury signature, there's an idea. This bill doesn't buy things, it buys reflection. This artwork is a question. What's more valuable, paper, art, or ideas? This artwork, titled Final Judgment, is a surreal, post-colonial reimagining of the Last Supper. At its center sits a solar-faced judge, surrounded by monstrous hybrid beings, serpents, insects, bulls, and deities, all seated in a cosmic tribunal. The ceiling is covered in watchful eyes, a symbol of divine surveillance or systemic control, while an enormous spider web looms above, signaling decay and entrapment. The architecture echoes temples, government halls, and colonial ruins, draped in distorted flag patterns. Here, no bread is broken, only illusions. This is not a sacred meal, but the trial of empire, faith, and humanity itself. This dry point engraving is a postmodern Last Judgment where cows with ant bodies and grasshopper legs run endlessly on a treadmill, chasing a dangling dollar like a carrot. If they slow down, they're devoured by the system's gears. Above them, God the Father casually fishes for money from the clouds, while the Capitol replaces the Federal Reserve, printing cash like sacred scripture. Around them, beings are trapped in webs, skeletons lie discarded, and religious symbols spin meaninglessly in a broken sky. Time itself melts, warped, stolen by empire. There is no heaven, no punishment, only an eternal economic machine that demands movement and consumes souls. God fishes dollars, Congress prints them, and sacred insects run until they break. This isn't the end. It's the system running perfectly. What you see here isn't just a painting. It's a conversation between centuries, a symbolic battle, and sometimes even a party. I didn't invent everything from scratch. Instead, I invited several art giants to sit at the same table with me. There's Van Gogh with his asylum garden, already an intense place on its own. Then there's Michelangelo with his creator finger, Bosch with his infernal hallucinations, Botticelli with his dancing graces, and Raphael with cherubs that look like celestial memes. But I didn't leave them untouched. I mixed them, reinterpreted them, changed their context. I told them, guys, we're in a new century. Time to update. While I painted, they talked to me. Sometimes they yelled. Sometimes they confused me. But they also whispered things you only understand after days without sleep, when the brush starts moving on its own. I started with a garden. I ended with a mystical jungle. I added pharaohs with "I'm watching you" faces, floating Buddhas that don't float, a California bear that looks like it escaped capitalism, centaurs dancing cosmic reggaeton, and mermaids that don't sing, they scream. Why all this? Because reinterpretation means taking something that already exists, something powerful, and using it to express what you feel now. It's like making a remix, but with paint and trauma. It's like talking to the ghosts of art, but in your own language. This piece is my way of processing everything I am, everything that's influenced me, and everything I still don't understand. And even though it may look like chaos, it has its own logic, the logic of art that dares to mix it all to say something true. So, no, this isn't just a painting, it's an emotional map, a cultural puzzle, and an excuse not to go crazy while I paint sacred circles with fire ants burning beneath my feet. Picasso painted the old guitarist during his blue period when he felt very sad and alone. The painting shows a weak man playing a guitar as if music was the only thing he had left. In my version, the guitarist is no longer alone. Now there are angels, stars, and strange creatures around him. The title is Granted Wishes, because I wanted to turn sadness into hope. At the bottom, I wrote, Muse, come to me, like asking the universe for inspiration through art. The Aunt Meninas, all together, all alone. This isn't a royal court, it's a colony, a hive of presences that seem close but never connect. Each figure is locked in their own gesture, their own corner, their own invisible device. There's no conversation, just shared space. Inspired by Las Meninas by Velázquez and fractured through Picasso's lens, this reinterpretation offers a new scene. The contemporary court has no king. It has screens. It's a network of humans acting like ants, hyper-connected side by side, yet lost in private digital worlds. The light no longer enters through the open doorway in the back. Now it glows from their faces, lit by their devices, but it doesn't illuminate. It isolates. The Meninas no longer pose for the king. They pose for the algorithm. This dry point engraving reimagines the creation of Adam as a female-led genesis, where women radiate life and create beings in their own image. Surrounded by skulls, embryos, spiders, and sacred symbols, the piece reveals a chaotic ecosystem of creation beyond patriarchal myth. It suggests a deeper truth. Not that man created God in his image, but that there are beings who create life in theirs. A direct critique of the lie that shaped divine authority through male ego. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon is a famous painting by Pablo Picasso. It shows 5 women with geometric shapes inspired by African art and early ideas of cubism. At the time, it was very shocking. My version isn't just a copy, it's a wooden puzzle. I wanted to show that the human body, identity, and beauty are not fixed. They can break apart, change shape, and still make sense. On the back of the puzzle, I added phrases about cubism, because I believe the invisible side of art also speaks. What we don't see is just as important as what we do. A sun stolen from the past, reforged with symbols from all. This piece begins with the most powerful icon of the Mexica world, the Aztec sunstone, not just a calendar, but a cosmic engine of fate, sacrifice, rebirth, and collapse. But here, the sun doesn't stand alone. It's surrounded by symbols from other cultures, other mythologies, other ways of seeing time and truth. The artist doesn't copy the stone, they hack it. They turn it into a visual battlefield, a sacred remix where ancient civilizations collide. Bones, spirals, weapons, gods, stars. It looks like a codex stolen from multiple timelines and rewritten in one ink, the ink of sacred chaos.